Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learn his truth, 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off of this article that I got here from the People's Voice. And as you can see from the title, it says, Canadian government to begin arresting citizens who post hateful content on social media. You see, and ultimately, we know what all of this is alluding to. This is ultimately, leading up to the famine of the word, man, because ultimately we know that these words that are coming out have reached into the gates of the nobles, man, these elites, and they're ultimately offended at this word that the men of the Lord are ultimately, allowing to come out. So really, that's what all of this that we see ultimately happening is ultimately targeting, you see, because eventually there is going to come a time where this word is not going to be able to be accessed on the internet. You see, that's where we ultimately see everything ultimately moving in the direction of, right? Because as it says right here, let me grab that. This is Hebrews chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, for the words of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, right? Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart, right? Because ultimately this word is powerful, man, you see, and ultimately these devils that are hearing these words go out from the men of the Lord, starting off with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone. It's offending these people, man, and that's why they're really trying to, silence and do everything they can to try to, stop this word, because ultimately this is what hurts them the most, man. These words, these prophecies, us prophesying against their queendom, us prophesying their downfall, and ultimately is all the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Anyway, because we know that the famine of the word is a part of prophecy, man. The Lord is going to shut the mouth of his prophets real soon. You see, because what does it say in Matthew? Let me grab that. Chapter 24, right? And I'm going to start at verse 14. I'm going to get straight to the point, right? And it says, and this gospel, what gospel is that talking about? The true gospel that's being taught by the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, man. You see? And the men on down that teach the same doctrine, the doctrine that the Lord is only dealing with his people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see? And we also know that there's Israelite foreigners that may look like the heathens, but their seed line also goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's the gospel that we're teaching, man. You see, and ultimately that the Lord is not coming back for everybody. He's only coming back for the elect of his people. You see, this is the gospel that's going throughout the four corners of the earth. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, right? For a witness unto all nations. Because like I said, our people are scattered among all nations. Right. It says, and then shall the end come. And we are at the time of the end. So we know that it's only a matter of time before the Lord is going to allow this word to stop going out. Because we know that once the word stop going out, the warnings, then guess what? The judgment is going to come. And we can see through everything that's happening that we definitely are in the time of judgment, where the Lord is about to allow things to start heating up. So it's no coincidence that you got this devil, doing what he's doing, man. Right. And ultimately, he's being exposed, man. This word that the men of the Lord are speaking, also with all of the hidden stuff that this man has done and stuff like that, is all being exposed through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that's also why we see these devils hurt, man, as it tells you right there. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory, right? Talking about you Edomites, you devils. It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Yeah, because you're being exposed for all of the wickedness that you've done, man. You see? You're being exposed for how you got your riches, how you got everything in which it is that you ultimately possess. You got it by rape, rob, and murder, man. You see? It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that's what we see happening, man. You Edomites, you're proud, you're arrogant, you ultimately tried to make it seem as though, that everything that you people have gotten, you got it by being righteous. But like I said, all of that news, you're seeing things are coming out on how you people really are, man, that you people are really the wicked. You see, it tells you that what happened in the end. You see, in the book of Thessalonians, it said that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin or that man of perdition shall be revealed. That's talking about you Edomites, man. You see? So yeah, shameful spewing is on their glory. And that's why we ultimately see them, trying to attack this word, man, because this word is hurting them, man. It's cutting them, you know. But ultimately, it's all the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, as I said earlier, because, a famine of the word is prophecy, man. And eventually these warnings are going to stop going out. That's why we tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, to take this word seriously, man. And if the Lord is ultimately allowing you to come across his men, you see, to get this understanding of the scriptures, then you need to ultimately be taking it seriously and, getting this stuff within you, man. Because like I said, it's going to come a time in the very near future, you ain't going to be able to have access to the elder apostles and the elder bishops and the men on down videos, man. Because eventually all of this stuff is going to get swept off the internet. Right. You already see them now taking down brothers' channels and hitting people with strikes for small little reasons. I mean, hey, these devils are hurt, man. So eventually it's only a matter of time before this word ain't going to be on here, and that's when everybody going to want to listen to the words of the Lord. You see, when it's taken away, man, but I'm going to get into this article and we're going to actually read it. Right. So let's just get into it. It says the Canadian government to begin arresting citizens who post hateful content on social media. And ultimately, that's what they're deeming as hateful. And we know what they're ultimately going to come after, man. Like I said, it all goes back to the truth. That's really what they want to attack, man. You see, the men that are exposing them, the prophets, right? But it says the Canadian government has announced plans to begin arresting citizens who post material on social media deemed offensive by the government, right? So anything that they ultimately deem as something that they don't want being shown is going to be deemed, something that can't be posted, you see, or they're going to ultimately try to take it down, because they don't want it being out, right? Anything that goes against what they want being said, man, which, like I said, it all goes back to this truth, man, because this is ultimately what they really want to take down, you see. But it says recently asked about Bill C-9, the Combating Hate Act, right? Justice Minister Sean Fraser said the bill would apply to certain online content that involves the willful promotion of, we see that word, right? And it says Infowars.com reports, generally speaking, the law will apply equally online as it does in real communities. He says, adding just in the limited circumstances where there is the willful promotion of, you see that word again, against someone, man, right? So, yeah, like I said, we see everything that's going on. And we know it's eventually only a matter of time before this comes to the U.S. because if this is going on in Canada, which we know is right next to the United States, right, that eventually this same, setup is going to come here soon as well, man. This is all part of these devils coming with great wrath, and ultimately coming with these draconian measures, man. Right. That's why it tells you in Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and grievousness which they have prescribed, roughly paraphrasing. And that's all this is these devils coming with their unrighteous decrees, man, because they're being exposed. You see, it's over for you devils, man, and you can't stop this truth, man. So ultimately, we know that when this word does get taken off the internet, is ultimately the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai anyway that's allowing these things to happen, Because like it says right here, I'm going to grab it, Amos chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the day is come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Like I said, these warnings ain't going to be going out too much longer. The men of the Lord were telling you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians to repent, man, to seek the Lord while you still can, because things are about to heat up, man. You people out here playing, thinking you got all the time in the world and that the men of the Lord are going to be out here prophesying forever and that we just going to continue to be warning you people, thinking that everything's just going to continue the way it is. Hey, man, things about to heat up, man, right? And you people about to see that. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 12. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, right? They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. And why is that? Because like I said, all of these videos and everything else that the men of the Lord are posting on these apps is all going to be taken down. You see, they're going to delete it. They're going to hide it. They're going to make sure that you can't access it, man. You see, and like I said, it's really the Lord that's doing this, right? Verse 13, it says, and that day shall the fair virgins, right, meaning you young women, and young men faint for thirst, right? And that's going to be you 2/3, man. You 2/3 ninjas that ultimately been rejecting the words from the men of the Lord. When it's taken away from you and you people don't ultimately have access to these things and all hell begins to break loose out here in this place, America, that's when you people really going to be trying to seek the Lord. But it's going to be too late for you people, man. That's why we tell you to seek the Lord now. You see, but we know that only the elect of the nation of Israel are going to truly seek the Lord, man. And you 2/3 are not. That's why in this day that's coming, you people are going to be screwed, man. You see, you people going to be, hopeless, man. You see, you people ain't going to have no stability. Because what does it say in Isaiah 33:6? It says, "In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." And if you people don't have these scriptures, for you jakes out there that are playing, guess what? You ain't going to be stable in the times that are coming. You see? But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. But like I said, all of this stuff is only indicating that we're closer to the famine of the word, and that eventually, hey, it's going to come, man. You see? So with that being said, to the next time, shalom to the elect. Shalom.